in the farming community, but there was this guy that we knew that lived in town all of his life, decided that he wanted to become a farmer and knew absolutely nothing about farming. And he thought, what would be the easiest way for me to get involved? And the farming economy hasn't been the best the last few years. Well, he decided to go find himself a little acreage and get some outbuildings, and he thought, maybe raising some animals would be the easiest thing. So he investigated, thought, I'll go buy pigs, I'll have baby pigs, I'll sell the baby pigs, and I'll make some money. How hard is that? That's pretty easy. So that's what he did. He went out and he bought a bunch of pigs and he threw them out in the pen. And he goes into the local elevator to get some feed one day, and he's kind of complaining to the elevator guy. He says, I bought all these pigs. And he goes, I'm not having any baby pigs. Well, the feed guy goes, are they pregnant? I mean, did you buy them pregnant? What's the deal? I don't know. He says, I don't know nothing about it. So the feed guy goes, hey, your neighbor down the road is got a big hog operation. He has this prize-winning boar. Why don't you talk to him? You could probably take those pigs, go down the road, pen them up. They're going to get pregnant, and you're going to have some baby pigs. So he calls his neighbor up, works it all out. Neighbor says, sure, we can do all this. So he loads his pigs up on the back of his truck and takes them over to his neighbors and pens them up. Well, he's talking to his neighbor there, and he says, okay, listen. He goes, I don't know that much about this. How do I know this is going to work? How do I know they're going to get pregnant? And his neighbor says, you know what? There's a real easy way for you, even that you didn't grow up on a farm, for you to know. He says, when you take the pigs back home, you put them out in the pen, tomorrow morning when you get up, I want you to go look out in that pen. And if they're basking in the sun, they're pregnant. But if they're over there in the corner wallowing in the mud, didn't work. We're going to have to do this all over again. He's like, oh, wow, that's easy. I can figure that out. So he takes them home. Next morning, when he's excited, he jumps up out of bed and he goes running over to the window and he looks out there, and there they are, wallowing in the mud. He's like, great, got to do this all over. So he cleans them up, loads them up into the back of his truck, takes them to his neighbors, goes through the process all over again. Gets him back home. Now the next morning, he's a little gun shy. So he says to his wife, he said, hey, will you run over to the window and look out the window and tell me, are those pigs out there basking in the sun, or are they wallowing in the mud? Oh yeah, no problem, she said, I'll go look. So she goes over to the window, looks, starts to come back, and he goes, well? She goes, neither. He said, neither, what do you mean? She said, well, they're all in the back of the truck, 2 of them in the front seat and one's honking the horn.